When you die, will you be cremated or will you be in an open casket? This video is about rewiring your brain to create more fulfillment while you're here on this earth. I'm Dr. Dan. I'm a strategist, I'm a coach, I'm passionate about the brain, but I'm most passionate and fired up to help you live out your full potential and your purpose. And with that comes communicating your message to the masses. So my wife and I currently have opposing views when it comes to open casket or being cremated. Maybe I'll have her bury me in this shirt. But truthfully, it's an interesting question. And the reason why I ask you that is to grab your attention. What are you doing here? What are you doing on this earth right now to fulfill your destiny? When you come to grips with the fact that it's gonna end, your flesh is either gonna be burned up or it's gonna be laying in a casket, essentially food for worms. And I know that sounds a little morbid for some of you, but that's a reality. It happens to all of us. For me, the reason I bring that up is because the herniated disc I got last year that threw me for a loop, the scar I have on my leg, the hairline that you see in the mirror every day, all those are gonna be gone. When I think about that, it's flesh. It's the body that will eventually be gone. But what will remain is the legacy you left, the memories you created for the loved ones, and ultimately the decisions and impact you had on this earth. My question is to inspire you to think about these things in order to rewire or reprogram your brain to have more fulfillment. If I ask you this question, what would you rather have? Fulfillment or achievement? You can't have both. Which one do you want? Now, I think it's easy to say fulfillment, but there's a part of us that all want achievement. What I believe, and I think I have proof to validate this, is that when you seek for fulfillment, you will get achievement. So let's break this down.
Break it down for me.
I was recently listening to an author who made the claim that we have 30 times more energy today than we did just 20 years ago. The question is, what are you doing with that energy? And his message was that we should all be laser focused on that one thing that we want to accomplish. And when we take our energy, and instead of a light bulb that lights up a room, we want to be a laser beam that's going one way. It lights up one thing very directly. And he got me thinking, am I focused on that one thing? Which brings me back to the main big question is, are you gonna be cremated or open casket? I say that because it makes you deal with this question. What are you focused on right now that will make a difference in your family, in your finances, in your legacy, and in the world at large? For me, even recently, I've dealt with this question. My background was initially in chiropractic, and I had a family that was all medical, and so I was the black sheep that chose chiropractic. But I like to say I didn't choose it, it chose me. I had an incident when I was 16 years old, pole vaulting in high school, injured my back, went to all these providers, had no hope, no hope, no hope. Finally, a chiropractic changed my life. And he said, you should be a chiropractor. And so I went down that path. I had no idea what it was gonna consist of. I had no idea how big it was, but it challenged me to ask the question, why? And then I dove deep and deeper and deeper, and I had a level of conviction that allowed me to come out and start a business that I 10x'd the current industry standard within 4 years. And I built a multi-million-dollar business. Along the way, I learned a lot of things. I got a lot of coaching, a lot of mentorship, and a lot of experience allowed me to be equipped to help coach and mentor business owners today. But I also earned a lot of other experience along the way. I was a team physician for the Olympic wrestling team for 3 years, and I got to serve in the 2012 Olympics. I was an NCAA Division I college volleyball chiropractor who had helped them go on to win the national title in 2007. I was a professor in a university. I've opened multiple businesses, both brick and mortar and online. I've been a speaker and have spoke all around the world on different platforms at different stages. I've been a best-selling author and a coach. And I say that because now, even recently, I'm like, what am I doing now that is allowing me to have this full focus to make the difference that I'm called to make? And right now, I am so convicted of helping leaders just like you use the power of story to magnify your message. It's what I write about in this book, The Trust Formula, and it's what I experienced as an introvert who is an entrepreneur who didn't have any background in experience in business. I come out with a passion, a conviction, and a desire to change the world. And when you have that and you combine it with the power of your story, you can move mountains. And I am so convicted now, looking at the research, looking at the evidence, and helping people do this, that that's all I want to do all day, every day, to help someone like you actually take your message and your mission to the world. to make it a better place, to make your life better, your family better, your finances better, and to leave the legacy that I think that you're called to leave. I can remember graduating from chiropractic college and I told my dad that I was gonna invest another $300,000 in coaching and mentorship with this specific program. That would put me over $500,000 in debt before I opened my first business.
Oh, Lord.
To most standards, that would be crazy and ridiculous. And to my dad, he thought the same. But I wasn't getting validation from him. My dad didn't feel what I knew about this message. He didn't have my mission. He didn't have my conviction about what I knew it could do. I needed to be around the right people who had a big mission and vision and could help me pull it together. And so when I tell people that, it kind of blows their mind. It doesn't make sense on paper, but I got around the right people and in the right rooms that allowed me to have the conviction, the strategy, and the game plan to go pull it off. And so I go back to the question, achievement or fulfillment, which one are you after? I'm just gonna tell you, fulfillment is a lot more fulfilling even when the decisions you're making right now don't make sense to anybody else. That is one indication that you're on the right track. There was a researcher named Mihaly who did a study about true fulfillment. And what he determined is that we have all this wealth, all this materialism, all this money, yet people are less happy than ever before. And he found out the real fulfillment comes from having a challenge and being able to overcome those challenges. You see people so often when they retire, their health goes down, their life goes down, their fulfillment goes down, everything goes down because they no longer have a purpose. And so what I'm just encouraging you to ask that question, cremated or open casket, because it forces you to get very real and raw that that's gonna be you so that you can live different now. And I'm arguing fulfillment is the name of the game, and it's about overcoming the challenges that are in front of you one by one by one. That's where true fulfillment comes from. So how do you rewire your brain for fulfillment? Number one, you need to get in a relaxed environment. Your brain under stress cannot think the way it needs to. If your brain is in a fight or flight physiology, it will shut down and not be open to the possibilities that you're called to. Number two, ask yourself this question, why am I here? Number three, ask yourself this question, at the end of my life, when people are deciding whether I should be cremated or open casket, what do I want to be known for? And when you combine those two things right now, why am I here? And then what do I want to be known for? You start to build the evidence that gives you the proof of where you need to focus your effort and energy. Like a laser, you're gonna go after that thing. What do you wanna be remembered for? And what are you here for? And here's a newsflash for you, because too often we live our lives for other people or to please them. They're gonna die one day, and they're currently thinking about their own journey and not yours. So stop allowing their opinion or perspective to change what you're here to do. And probably one of my favorite quotes known to man is that the pain of regret is always worse than the pain of discipline. Being who you're meant to be and living a fulfilled life will require discipline, but it's so much easier than the pain of regret. You don't want to get to the end and say, I wish I would have, because you can decide right now. Perspective matters. So I leave you with that. Are you going to be cremated or is it going to be an open casket?